This is the top 5 weirdest fruits in Vietnam. Number 5 is gag fruit, a spiky, vibrant orange ball that looks more like a children's toy, but once you cut it open, it has this blood-colored slimy pulp that tastes like cucumbers and avocado. Number 4 is giant granadilla. We all know regular passion fruits, but this one was definitely supersized. Number 3 is nipa palm fruit. Very hard to harvest as it grows in swamps, even harder to get through the woody shell, but inside is a jelly-like flesh that tastes like coconut. Number 2 is screw pine, a fruit that comes straight out of Jurassic Park. Many tell us it looks like the devil fruit in the Japanese manga series One Piece. And number 1 is katsura. These are just so bizarre. With their neon pink shell, they kinda look like dragon eggs, don't you think? This is the top 5 weirdest fruits in Vietnam. Number 5 is gag fruit, a spiky, vibrant orange ball that looks...
I couldn't understand why people eat this fruit. When you cut it open, you're met with a sticky liquid that's hard to wash off. There's white flesh that tastes very bitter. As it turns out, I had picked an unripe fruit, so I went to the market and chose a new one. This time, I coated my tools with oil to make it easier to wash off the latex later. This fruit was large and had a noble green color. The skin peeled off easily, revealing white balls inside, but they had no taste. It seems I picked an unripe one again. The third time, I decided not to rely on myself and asked the vendor to help me choose the tastiest fruit. This one had a strong and pungent smell. Inside, the flesh wasn't white anymore, but bright orange. However, the taste was disappointing. The fruit had already started to ferment. I decided to try my luck one more time. This time, the skin was thinner than the previous ones. Underneath were large, slightly slimy balls. Each one had a seed covered with a small amount of flesh. The taste was cloyingly sweet, with a texture like cotton candy. I couldn't understand why people eat this fruit. When you cut it open, you're met with a sticky liquid that's hard to wash off. There's white flesh that tastes very bitter. As it turns out, I had picked an unripe fruit.
So she
started to ferment. I decided for the smell. Inside, the flesh wasn't white anymore, but bright orange. However, the taste was disappointing. The fruit had already started to ferment. I decided to try my luck one more time. This time,
I missed that.
I missed that part. This one smelled orange. However, the taste was disappointing. The fruit had already started to ferment. I decided to try my previous ones. Underneath were large, luck one more time. This time, the skin was thinner than the previous ones. Underneath were large, slightly slimy balls. Each one had a seed covered with a small amount of flesh. The taste was cloyingly sweet, with a texture like cotton candy. I couldn't understand. I never understood why people throw away watermelon rinds. If you cut them into cubes, make a baking soda solution and let the rinds soak in it. Then rinse them well. Mix sugar and water. Add the rinds, reduce the heat, and simmer. Turn off the heat and let the mixture sit. After 8 hours, cook the mixture again. Then let it cool. Add orange zest, vanilla extract, and cook the mixture and an extraordinary jam. I never understood.
Damn, bro, what the fuck, dude? Oh my god, I
couldn't believe that if you mix coconut butter with shredded coconut, add liquid honey and vanilla extract, gently press the mixture into a mold, freeze the bars, and then dip each one in melted chocolate, you'll end up with bars. I couldn't believe that if you mix...
She's cooking, bro. She's fucking cooking.
Not many people know that if you take a cup of cashews, add coconut milk, any sweetener, vanilla extract, and a pinch of salt, blend it all and freeze it, you'll get ice cream that tastes just like classic dairy ice cream.
Oh, it's so fucking smart. Holy shit. Shut the fuck up.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 pieces of bacon in 24 cans of Bush's baked beans. One, two, three, four.
What?
I'll take the last one.
The last one. You use it.
Oh,
appreciate it.
What's up?
Oh, no.
I thought you said you take the last one. I'll take the last one. Fine. Yeah, it's all good.
Cool. Thank you for trying.
Appreciate it. I'll take the last one.
The last one. You use it.
Oh,
appreciate it.
what's up? Oh, no.
If you had banana, egg, yogurt, cocoa, honey, mix it, pour it, and bake it, you get this very impressive chocolate banana brownie thing.
Fuck.
If you had banana...
This girl has a simple task.
Fuck, I need food really fucking bad. Oh my god, dude. All this food is turning my stomach on, bro. Like, my stomach has a little dick in it.
So today we're at Quick Trip, and we are trying the ghost pepper dog.
That shit look crazy,
I got
bro.
mixed feelings about this one, and I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of hoping.
Better put some. Okay.
I will say I wish the bun was a little bit more steamy. It's kind of hard, but let's try it. So right away it gives like cookout hot dog. Like you can tell it's been rotating on there for a little bit. Flavor wise, I mean, it's a dog. Nothing really good about it. And the spice, like there's really not much spice to this. Like,
I'm a server and I think we're gonna make 100 burritos today.
I'm the operations manager. I think we're gonna do 500 burritos today.
I'm the floor manager. I think we're gonna make 1,000 burritos today. I'm the chef. I think they should shut the fuck.
I'm a server and I think we're...
My name's Pink and I'm really glad to meet you.
In this life, I go.
Here's how to chug a pint of any liquid in a second. Take a sip of water, look up until you feel tension in your jaw, and swallow. Once you have this mastered, you can drink anything in one ginormous sip. Here's how to chug a pint of any liquid.
So this is meat. We are vegans. We can't have meat smoke coming into our... No, we're going to speak to our landlord.
Well, here, want to try some?
No, that is murder. You are... So this is meat.
Damn.
So they're unfinished. So if you notice, there's no.
I thought that was real.
Ham.
Real studio.
So they shut up. When you go to the Taylor. So they're unfinished. So if you notice, there's no ham here, right? So they shut up. When you go to the Taylor. So they're unfinished. So if you notice, there's no ham here, right?
Confused.
Nothing beats a Jet2 holiday. And right now, you can save £50 per person. That's £200 off for a family of 4. We've got millions.
Don't hate me, but I usually eat the Costco rotisserie chicken straight out the bag. But don't worry, I'm gonna show you how to make it way better. After removing your chicken's thong, take off all the meat and save the bones so we can make some stock. Now add the bones to a stock pot and fill it up with water until it covers the chicken. Now get the pot as hot as you are and add some bay leaves, oregano, black peppercorns, and some garlic. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't really know what bay leaves do. I just threw them in there because that's what all the chefs do. Once your water starts boiling, bring it down to a simmer and let it cook off for about 3 hours. Then take out all the bones into a blender, add in 2 jalapenos, 2 knobs of ginger, and blanch a whole bag of spinach. And you don't want to cook this for too long, so just quickly dip it in there and take it out when it's a little bit limp. Limp? That's definitely not the right wordage. Whatever, you know what I mean. Anyways, add your spinach to your blender and blend it up until it looks like this. Wow. Now add your mixture to your broth and grab a handful of parsley and cilantro. Then cut the stems off and stuff it in the blender again. Then add some garlic and some basil leaf. And I know you see me using some homegrown herbs. I'm about to be wannabe farmer Matt. Anyways, blend it all up and add it to your stock. And I know this looks crazy, but trust me, this is so good. Then I added in some leftover rice and some chicken meat that we took off in the beginning. Then mix it all up and add some salt and pepper to your liking. And you're done. This is the perfect meal when it's a little gloomy outside or when you're feeling really sick. Wow. Don't hate me, but I usually eat the Costco rotisserie chicken straight out the bag. But don't worry, how much?
It looks really gross.
I'm trying to buy stuff that's not for sale.
Or they make something else with those
Alright, we're gonna put
ingredients.
this price sticker right
You definitely
there.
make something
Has
better
to be a
with those
legit
ingredients.
placement. How much?
It's almost cooking, but...
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and 25. Good luck.
There you go.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Good luck. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Go into Little Caesars, order a pepperoni pizza. Shout out all my Muslim.
right? When they hand you the pepperoni pizza, open the box up, put your phone.
Look, while most of us just fry or boil eggs, in Japan they do something totally different. They pour boiling water straight into a bowl of scrambled eggs and start stirring. Then they add a spoonful of salt and keep mixing until it turns super foamy. Next, they place the bowl in the middle of a steaming pan and carefully scoop out all the foam. After steaming it for 8 to 10 minutes, it turns into a smooth golden egg jelly. But only the ones who leave a like get a scoop. Look, while most of us just...
That has to be fucking fake. That has to be fucking fake.
Dude, stop smoking! Look, while most of us just fry or boil eggs, in Japan they do something totally different. They pour boiling water straight into a bowl of scrambled eggs and start stirring. Then they add a spoonful of salt and keep mixing until it turns super foamy. Next, they place the bowl in the middle of a steaming pan and carefully scoop out...
Dude, stop smoking! You'll light the whole place on fire! It's fine, dude. They just say that as illegal. No, they don't. And the gas is getting closer. What, do you think I'm an idiot? I'm not gonna put the cigarette in the gasoline. How do you think gasoline works? You light it and it explodes? Well, yeah, but it evaporates, so you might not even need to be close to it, and your cigarette is dropping hot ashes. Dude, get away from the pumps. I get why you're worried, but it's so unlikely that anything actually goes wrong. Like, you can chill out. Okay, but think about this. Will you change this light bulb for me? Sure. Wait, you're not going to switch it off? I don't know, man. Nobody gets electrocuted from changing a light bulb. It seems pretty unnecessary. But it makes it a lot safer, and it only takes like 1 second of effort. I mean, the only way to guarantee there's no current is if you turn the breakers off, and they're all the way in the garage. But it's okay, man. My hands are dry. I'll be all right. Okay, but you're still way more likely to get electrocuted if you leave it on. Why would you risk it? It's just easier. And I'd like it to be over.
Okay, I jumped.
Dude, pick it up. You're not gonna get lucky again. But the cigarette's out. It's still hot. And yeah, it's not guaranteed to explode, but it's a hell of a lot more likely if you're as close as you are. So please, get out of there. Are you okay? Yeah, I got lucky. Maybe don't smoke at gas stations. Dude, stop smoking. You'll light the whole place on fire. It's fine, dude. They just say that it's illegal. No, they don't.
I don't want that shit. Matter of fact, I want your friend. I'm allowed to switch. I'm really tired of being in the stupor. I'm about to quit. Somebody call my A&R now. Tell them get me out of here, cause I'm about to flip. Bad bitches in the D&B. I'm okay with that. Niggas hear your song and turn it off. They don't play it back.
Alright, I need to get food really quickly before I even start gambling. Let's get it started. This is beat.
I've been a bars, I've been a bar, it's time to slide. You want smoke, pop outside. I love bro, nigga, I cry. Swear I had the pigs watching. He want smoke, nigga, take a nugget. I'm with them. With that stuff. Not yet. Should I send with that stuff? I need one. Bro, I need one. I need one. Please, I need one. Yeah, come on. Yeah, can me on it. Brow, nigga.
It's tough.
Gang. Brown, yeah, I cut through man, nigga, duck and start that big law. I'm tryna park that outside, tryna see where the odds at. Stacking pack, keep shit a stack. Me and my nigga keep shit a rack. Fuck 100, we keep shit a rack. Yeah, they send them shot, we send them back. I'm caught in my brother's ass. Never switch, nigga, I stand on that. For that bitch.
The year was 2004, 18 years ago. About 4 or 5 years before I adopted a life, 2 dry pieces of bread never quite got me excited as a kid. On the other hand, a hot sandwich was right up my alley. And of course, I love chicken cutlets. They were the go-to thing for me to add to a sandwich. Now, this was around the end of football season, and I was the and then baste the paler spots of the chicken with the hot oil. With metal tongs, cook for another minute, then flip and baste with high school cartoons. Discovered Wait, don't go yet. We have an announcement. I have another Sunday supper coming up this Sunday, July 24th in New York City at the Stand Comedy Club, 4 p.m.
Oh, okay.
You're all eating spaghetti and meatballs wrong! For years, we have taken ground beef strings and mashed them into a sad ball. And spaghetti! Spaghetti starts as a ball. Well, today, we stop the insanity.
Today on with our meatball mix inside.
medium ice cream scoop to grab yourself a scoop of pasta cheese goo, snip off or press in any stragglers, and dump it into a vat of 350 Fahrenheit oil. Fry for 2 to 3 minutes until deeply golden brown and resembling a ball of deep fried spag ball. They're just deep fried and kind of gummy and definitely not bad, but definitely not fry. And
This is clickbait. Wow, what a clickbait. That's crazy. That is not what that was at all. It's 50%, bro. What should I watch?
My name is Nick, and I'm going to be the next school shooter of 2018. You're all going to die.
Okay. Let's do this one.
Accused of hacking into Pentagon and NASA systems. 40 million credit card and debit numbers stolen.
Alright, let's dig
On
in.
its surface, the International Space Station heats up to 120 degrees Celsius. The onboard temperature and humidity control system keeps the inside at the right temperature for human survival. If it fails, the astronauts stationed here would literally be cooked. And just now, a hacker has gotten hold of the system's software. He's not a hostile government agent, just a 15-year-old in his bedroom. He successfully gained access to 13 NASA computers. This teenager is a prodigy, one of the most talented young hackers the world has ever seen. And he didn't just break into NASA, he also hacked the Pentagon. From his point of view, he's just toying around. From the government's perspective, he's a national security threat.
Largest identity theft case ever.
Largest data breach in U.S. history.
That affected millions of people.
One that humiliated them over and over again. And one that they will go after ruthlessly. It's the year 1989, a suburban village in South Florida. This is Jonathan James. He is 6 years old. While other kids are outside playing tag, he's busy inside, glued to the family's computer. Mostly, he's just playing games. His parents are worried about his obsession. His dad is a programmer. At one point, he installs parental protection on the computer. But Jonathan just breaks through it. In his early teens, he starts reading books on the programming language C and the operating system Unix, a precursor for Linux and Mac OS. He studies source code extensively and talks to other computer enthusiasts. He spends countless hours in front of the computer, often until late into the night. One afternoon, Jonathan uninstalls Windows from his family PC, then installs Linux. No one asked him to. No one could stop him. His computer time regularly leads to arguments with his parents. It doesn't get any better once he gets his own PC. After a while, his parents decide to confiscate it. Jonathan runs away and says he's not coming home until he gets it back. Soon, it won't be his parents who are trying to keep him away from a computer, but the US government. At 15, Jonathan has long morphed from curious preteen to full-blown hacker, one of the youngest and best at the time. Online, he's known under his alias, Comrade. Jonathan really enjoys messing with systems, not to break them, but to beat them. It's a power thing, a control thing. He likes the thrill of it. The tougher the system, the more it pulls him in. He goes in, proves it's not so secure after all, and moves on. He doesn't care much about the stuff inside. He doesn't steal data, delete files, or spread viruses. In fact, sometimes he does the opposite. He'll break in, then send a polite little email to the system admin. Hey, your setup's got holes. Here's where. Here's how to fix it. In the summer of 1999, Jonathan is looking for a new challenge, so he decides to hack NASA. More specifically, the agency's Marshall Space Flight Center in Huntsville, Alabama. He gains access to 13 NASA computers. It's unclear how, and this time Jonathan decides to actually take something. He downloads proprietary software valued at $1.7 million. It's the software for the temperature and humidity control of the ISS. In an interview, Jonathan will later say, "The code itself was crappy. Certainly not worth $1.7 million like they claimed. The only reason I was downloading the source code in the first place was because I was studying C programming. And what better way to learn than reading software written by the government?" Just downloading the software didn't give Jonathan remote control over the ISS systems. Having the source code is one thing, but actually sending commands to a spacecraft is a whole different story. It would have taken more steps to actually access the system. But this hack is still a massive security breach. When NASA finds out, they have to shut down their systems for 3 weeks, resulting in damages of around $40,000. 2 months later, Jonathan takes up his next challenge, hacking the Pentagon. More specifically, their Defense Threat Reduction Agency. It analyzes and deals with potential threats to the US from nuclear, chemical, and biological weapons. Jonathan gains access to a server in Dulles, Virginia, and installs a backdoor. Again, it is unknown how he actually pulled this off. Once inside DTR systems, he intercepts more than 3,300 messages to and from DTRA staff. He retrieves 19 usernames and passwords of employees, at least 10 of which have access to military computers. Jonathan thinks his hacks are no big deal. To him, they are, quote, just harmless exploration. Law enforcement disagrees. It's an early morning in January 2000. Last month, Jonathan turned 16. By now, he has not one, but multiple computers of his own. He is well connected with other hackers, sharing tips and tricks. He also loves Star Trek. His mother comes into the room and wakes him up.
Jonathan, honey, the FBI's at the door.
They're here for him. They raid his family home and take 5 computers. They also take his Palm Pilot, some CDs, and his Star Trek book. Bold choice for evidence. Jonathan is questioned by the officers. He admits everything and promises to never do it again. Then he hears nothing for 3 months. And then the authorities press charges. And his life begins to change. Changed dramatically. Jonathan James becomes the youngest person ever convicted of violating cybercrime laws in the US. If Jonathan had been an adult, he might have ended up with a decade behind bars. But he's still a minor. So the US District Court in Miami puts him on 6 months house arrest. Jonathan is no longer allowed to use his computers in his free time. And even worse, he has to write letters of apology to NASA and the Department of Defense. Later, he tests positive for drugs, a clear probation violation. So he gets sent to a juvenile detention facility for 6 months. He's scared about spending time there with actual criminals. His father will later say that prison changed Jonathan. It made him strangely idle. Looking back, Jonathan regrets the whole thing. What started as fun challenges ended with him behind bars. The thrills weren't worth it, not even close. From that point on, he decides to leave hacking behind for good. But not everyone believes him. And a few years later, his past life will catch up with him. Some viewers think our animations are made with AI. Our 3D artists, who spend countless hours building these shots from scratch, aren't angry, just disappointed. AI can be helpful with other tasks though, like research. That's where Merlin AI comes in. Merlin AI is an all-in-one AI tool that bundles the best AI models all in one place, and you can even save tons of money. They gave us a 75% discount code we will share with you in just a second. You might already be using AI to rewrite emails, or to figure out what it really means when your ex texts you up at 1 a.m. But Merlin goes beyond that. In our work as journalists, he too. This is Albert Gonzalez. He's got a few things in common with Jonathan James. He was also born in the 80s. He too is a self-taught hacker. When he was 14, he also broke into NASA systems. And, as a consequence, he also got a visit by the FBI. But that didn't stop Gonzalez from hacking. Far from it. We don't know if Albert Gonzalez and Jonathan James knew each other, but they had a common hacker friend called Christopher Scott. Gonzalez went by many aliases on the internet, but his favorite was Soup Nazi, a reference to his Seinfeld episode.
You want bread?
Yes, please.
$3!
In early 2000s, Gonzalez stumbled across Shadow Crew, a marketplace for trafficking stolen credit and bank card numbers and identity information. And even though the feds are having an eye on him, he gets involved. In 2003, he gets caught trying to pull cash from an ATM using fake credit cards. To avoid jail time, he agrees to work with the Secret Service. Soon, he helps them bust a bunch of Shadow Crew members. You'd expect that his work as an informant for the Secret Service would stop him from any criminal activity. But well, in his view, the salary from the Secret Service is too low. So he gets back to what he does best: hacking. He sets up an elaborate scheme he calls Get Rich or Die Trying. The scheme will turn into one of the world's biggest cases of identity theft. It'll ruin his life. But Jonathan James will end up dead.
Damn, he died, Sean.
This is Scott, who is both friends with Gonzalez and James. Next to him sits someone who, according to criminal reports, is only known as JJ. They're doing something called war driving. It's a simple technique. You drive around in your car and park close to companies. You only need your laptop and a high-power radio antenna. Once you're close enough, you check for vulnerabilities in their Wi-Fi network. Back then, most companies weren't exactly taking cybersecurity seriously. Inside Office Max, people are buying Post-its and whiteboard markers in 4 colors, gearing up for a meeting that probably could have been an email. Outside, Scott and JJ access the store's Wi-Fi, and through that enter its systems. Once inside, they install a sniffer program, which captures and downloads credit and debit card data from customers. Then they send the data to Gonzalez. He forwards it to another hacker, who decrypts the PIN codes. Gonzalez and his crew don't just sell the stolen card info, they encode them onto blank magnetic strip cards and use those to pull tens of thousands of dollars out of ATMs. After the Office Max breach, banks were apparently forced to reissue around 200,000 cards. And this hack wasn't a one-off. Over the span of the next 3 years, Gonzalez and his crew hack into several major US companies, including BJ's Wholesale Club, Boston Market, Barnes & Noble, Forever 21, and others. Their biggest credit card data heist happens at TJX. That's the parent company of TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Home Goods, and others. Around 96 million TJX customers are affected by the theft of their credit and debit card info. At the time, these attacks make up the largest case of identity theft in US history. The crew stole the data of around 180 million credit and debit cards. The total damage of all infected companies amounts to roughly $400 million in reimbursements, legal costs, and forensic fees.
There's a major break in a credit card scam that affected millions of people.
Experts say this man's arrest may lead to the kingpin behind the biggest credit card ID theft in history.
The Secret Service investigates, and at one point, they realize that their very own informant is not only involved, but is the mastermind behind the TJX heist. May 2008, Pinecrest, Florida. Jonathan James is 24 years old now. He doesn't go to college, he doesn't have a job. His mother died of breast cancer 6 years ago. Together with his brother, he still lives in the house he grew up in. He apparently suffers from depression. Overall, he's living a withdrawn life and is retired from hacking. But today, he'll get another surprise visit. This time, it's the Secret Service. They raid the family's house, just like the FBI had done 8 years ago. They drew a connection from Gonzalez to Christopher Scott to him. They suspect that JJ is short for Jonathan James, and that he's part of the hacker group. The agents go through Jonathan's stuff. They find a suicide note he had written years ago, and a gun. We don't know if the agents offer him psychological help, but according to Jonathan, they don't confiscate the weapon. Jonathan is shocked. He swears that he has nothing to do with the TJX case. What's going on? On the subpoena, he's able to find some answers. He reads about this guy, Albert Gonzalez. Jonathan recognizes him by another nickname he used online. Gonzalez has been working as an informant for the feds since 2003. For 5 years, Gonzalez used Scott to pull off his hacks, while simultaneously writing out other hackers to the feds to stay in their good graces. Jonathan is sure that Gonzalez is now trying to pin the hacks on Scott. And he is getting a bad feeling. He thinks that he'll be a much more appealing target than Chris. It might not matter to the feds that he's innocent, even though, in his words, Scott and Gonzalez are the most destructive, dangerous hackers the feds ever caught. They'll let them off easy because he's a juicier target. That would please the public more. In Jonathan's mind, the picture is clear. They need a scapegoat. Not Gonzalez, not Scott, not the one who actually caused the damage, but him, Jonathan. In his words, the feds played dirty. He holds these beliefs for a reason. There's this paper that has made rounds in the hacker scene, Agent Steele's Guide to Getting Busted. It's basically a survival guide for hackers, written by one who ended up in prison. Agent Steele's real name was Justin Tanner Peterson. He was an American hacker who worked as an informant for the feds while continuing to commit crimes. Agent Steele writes, "The criminal justice system is a game to be played, both by prosecution and defense. And if you have to be a player, you'd be wise to learn the rules of engagement." He makes it clear that law enforcement isn't always fair. They play dirty and will do just about anything, including lie, to win their case. Jonathan read this guide, and he knows that Gonzalez is working with the feds, so he's convinced he's going to prison, even though he's innocent. The first time was already terrifying. He doesn't want to go through that again. On May 18, 2008, 2 weeks after agents raided his home, Jonathan was found dead in his home after a self-inflicted gunshot wound. He wrote a note. There are messages to his family and friends, passwords to his accounts. In this letter, he also expresses his opinion on the authorities. He writes, "I have no faith in the justice system. Perhaps my actions today, and this letter, will send a stronger message to the public. Either way, I have lost control over the situation, and this is my only way to regain control. Remember, it's not whether you win or lose, it's whether I win or lose. And sitting in jail for 20, 10, or even 5 years for a crime I didn't commit is not me winning. I die free." In March 2010, Albert Gonzalez was sentenced to 20 years in federal prison for his role in the series of hacks. In the backyard of his parents, the Secret Service seized a barrel containing $1.2 million in cash. Christopher Scott was sentenced to 7 years in prison for his role in the attacks. It's likely that the pseudonym JJ didn't refer to Jonathan James, but rather to Stephen Watt, another figure convicted in the TJX case, who was known to use the alias Jim Jones online. At the point of his death, Jonathan neither had been arrested, charged, tried, nor sentenced. It seems like knowing that Gonzalez had worked with the Secret Service fueled Jonathan's fear to become a scapegoat and end up in prison. Jonathan James wasn't some criminal mastermind. He was a teenager with a rare talent and a deep curiosity for how systems work. After he hacked into them, he often offered to help fix them.
That's true.
Instead of guiding such talents, helping to channel them into something good, the justice system decided to make an example out of him.
That's crazy. Sad. And
The following never before.
okay, I think I gotta stop watching YouTube, start gambling. Wait, I'm just gonna get up.